we're going to be considering plotting straight line or linear graphs. All linear graphs are straight lines. There are some examples for you. Y equals 1 plus 2x, y equals 3x minus 2, y equals 10 minus 5x, y equals 6x. They're not the only types of equations we could have for straight lines. We could also have things like 2x plus 3y equals 4, x is equal to 3, y is equal to 7. What we're going to do is considering plotting straight lines. When we plot straight lines, what we need are a series of points. On our example here, we have a table of values. That table of values consists of 5 points. I'm going to show you first how we came up with those values. The first thing I'm doing is drawing the table. The top line is going to be x values. The bottom line is going to be y values. The x values we have decided will be 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. What we want to do is work out the corresponding y values. And the way we work out the corresponding y values is we substitute into the formula that we are given. The formula that we have been given is y equals 1 plus 2x. So y equals 1 plus 2 times x. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to consider when x is 0. Substituting into the formula y equals 1 plus 2x, I get 1 plus 2 times 0. 2 times 0 is 0, 1 plus 0. And 1 plus 0 is 1. That is where we get the 1 in the first column of our table. Now, I'm going to substitute in the 1. 1 plus 2 times 1, which is 1 plus 2 times 1 is 2. 1 plus 2 gives us 3. For x is equal to 2, I get 1 plus 2 times 2. 2 times 2 is 4. So we've got 1 plus 4. And 1 plus 4 is 5. X is equal to 3. 1 plus 2 times 3. 2 times 3 is 6, plus 1 is 7. So 1 plus 6 gives us 7. The last one, we have x is equal to 4. So we have 1 plus 2 times 4. 2 times 4 is 8, so I've got 1 plus 8. And 1 plus 8 is 9. That is how we have got the second row of this table. Now what we are doing is we are plotting a series of points. So I'm going to do this in blue. The first column of numbers in the table has x equals 0, y equals 1. That is the point 0, 1. The second column, 1, 3. That is the point 1, 3. The third column of numbers, x is 2, y is 5. Fourth column of numbers is 3, 7. And the last column of numbers is 4, 9. So we now have those points. What we're going to do is plot those points. You can see they are already plotted on the graph we're given, but I'm going to show you where the points come from anyway. The first point, 0, 1. So we go across 0, up 1. The second point, 1, 3. We go across 1, up 3, and plot our point. 2, 5. We go across 2, and we go up 5. 3, 7. We go across 3 and up 7. 4, 9. We go across 4 and up 9. Those 5 points are all in a straight line, as we would expect, because we are drawing linear graphs or straight line graphs. You normally would not have the dotted lines that I have plotted showing on your final graph. I have done that so you can see what I am doing on screen. Now with a ruler, you would rule a straight line through those points. And there is your graph that you have plotted. Now we're going to be considering limiting the values that we're going to use. So we've written, occasionally parameters may be given for a line in the form of a value less than or equal to x, less than or equal to a value. What does that mean? I'll write down an example. I might say that y is equal to 2x, and I say the values of x are limited between 0 and 4. That means x can take any value between 0 and 4. It cannot be a number smaller than 0. It cannot be a number bigger than 4. Similarly, we may limit the y values. So if we had y equals 3x minus 1, we might say that we have negative 2 less than or equal to y less than or equal to 3. That means any y value we have can only be between minus 2 and 3. It cannot be smaller than minus 2. It cannot be bigger than 3. So it limits the values that we can use. If you limit the x values, like we did between 0 and 4, that will then limit the y values that you can have. If you limit the y values like we did, then that will limit the x values that you can have. This can all be done on your calculator. Here's my page. I can type in the equation 1 plus 2x. When I press enter, the graph appears. Now if I want to change the viewing window, I go to Menu, from Menu, Window, Window Settings. I'm going to change my y values to be minus 10 to positive 10. The other thing you'll notice is X scale and Y scale says auto. This is talking about the little tick marks on the axes. I'm going to set these to being 1. So 1 there, 1 there. Click OK, and my graph appears. The smallest value on the X axis is negative 10. The largest value is positive 10, and similarly for the Y axis. If I want to trace the graph, I also go to Menu, Trace, Trace Graph. Using the arrow keys, you can move backwards and forwards, up and down the line. If you want to see the table of values, you press Control T and you'll see on the right hand side there is a table of values. Using your arrow keys, you can move up and down the table of values. If you want to go back to your graph, press Control T again, and the table of values has gone. There are some other things which you can do. This time, I still want to do 1 plus 2x, but what I want to do is have my line start when x is equal to -3 and finish when x is equal to +2. How do I do that? I type in the equations I've done, then I use what's called the with command. Control equals. The with command is the straight line. Now I've said I want to have my x values restricted to being between -3 and 2. So if I do control equals again, I can select the less than or equal to sign. And I'm now going to type in x, and then I'm going to do the same again to bring up my less than or equal to sign, and I'm going to put in my 2. Now this time when I press enter, you'll see the graph has a starting point and an ending point. It's restricted to the values that I have set. You can see that they are also written on screen.